Before we get into the video, I just want to thank all the people that supported my Patreon on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll post the link in the description. You guys were extremely generous. It helps me purchase sticks like this and this, so I can do reviews that aren't like this or this. I think you know what I'm saying. Thanks again, guys. I've tested a fair share of sticks now in my day, probably pushing about 100 sticks at this point. And every budget stick that I've tested has a low kick problem. And I don't know the exact reason other than being the taper is just a lack of engineering and just a soft spot on the stick, but they all kind of feel the same. They lack recoil, they lack responsiveness, they lack velocity, and they lack an actual fast, hard releasing shot because of the hosel. So we're going to talk about it, and today we're featuring tags and shinny.
What's going on, guys? So I'm out here today testing two sticks, and I'm doing it in comparison for a reason. I have the Tags Hockey. If you haven't heard of Tags, check out their Instagram at Tags Hockey on Insta. This is a 70 Flex RPG Pro P28 low kick. I went with the 70 because I feel that it's a good testing metric for anybody in beer league, rec hockey in general, because the 70 Flex is easy to load for most people. It's also what the kids are going with these days. You know, 70, 75, anything higher than that, it's pretty rare unless you're a beer leaguer and chopping wood out there. But I feel like a 70 is a good indication of how a stick performs. So that's why I have the 70. We're going to run through everything that we usually do, shooting, etc. And this will be part one because this is the low kick. They do have a mid kick version, and I'll let you know my thoughts at the end of the review.
This is the Tags RPG Pro. I have had this for a considerable amount of time, and I'm finally going to get this review posted because I did recently use it and compare it to a couple different sticks originally in the first testing that you'll see in this video, but also with the current lineup of a few of the best low kick sticks on the market in the Bauer Twitch, and of course the Trigger 9 Pro. Now here's the challenge that we have with low kick sticks like this in the, let's say, budget friendly category, is the challenge is the only thing they really have in the engineering, and this is called the violent release taper, is the only thing you got with these types of tapers is it's going to just be soft here, and that's it. Whereas the top $400 sticks like Bauer and CCM are bringing, say, the XE taper, the asymmetrical taper, and they have different engineering. And that is the challenge with sticks like this, is they are very soft feeling, the release is pretty weak, and really what they're going for is an elite feel with kind of a balance and weight point in that 375 gram range. So we're going to talk about these types of sticks today, and of course talk about the tags, but really the challenges that these guys have against the top end sticks.
So when it comes to budget-friendly hockey sticks, no matter what, I always find that they don't quite feel super elite in general. When you're talking about the FT7, you know, you are playing with this and you do feel like it's a $400 stick. Now, when it comes to tags and anything else, generally speaking, they don't feel like $400 sticks, but that's kind of the whole point, is, you know, it's a $200-ish stick. We'll see how it performs in comparison to those two. And the best way to test these custom style budget friendly sticks, let's call them, is to put it up against another stick. So this is actually from a company in the UK. They sent me this stick. And to be honest, this is kind of the first sticks that I've been sent as a YouTube hockey tester type of guy. So we'll put the tags up against this. They're both low kick, both P28, and this is actually a Patrick Kane Pro Curve. And honestly, it's like a paddle, but it actually feels okay. I was just running around with it a second ago. So I'll take some shots with the tags, take some shots with the Blackout, which is from the UK, and I'll be able to kind of tell where the pro budget sticks kind of feel in terms of their ranking. Obviously, I've tested some others. I've tested pro stock hockey sticks, which I rank very highly for their customization, as well as their performance. It's going to be hard to beat that. And I've tested Swift, which I thought was kind of eh. So now I've got a Blackout from the UK and Tags Hockey.
Here's the first problem with sticks like this and Blackouts and other budget-friendly sticks is they set the bar too high for themselves, claiming to be competing and having the best stick out there when it's just not the case. And it's a little bit frustrating because you are a custom budget stick category, and I understand that you're trying to make hockey more accessible for, say, top-end gear for everybody, as opposed to having the Bauer Twitch, which is, $450 Canadian, and I totally get that. But I think these companies fail instantly by trying to pretend that they are competing with the top-end sticks, because you really just aren't. Here's the other problem I have with these types of budget-friendly sticks is they're being giving them to people to discuss, say, the hockey tutorships of the world, and being like, please review this stick. I'm giving it to you. We all know that doesn't work. And here's the challenge that I have for these companies and these reviewers and influencers. Unless you are using this stick in a game with footage proving that this is your gamer, that you say it's better than, I don't want to hear it. Because when it comes to these types of sticks, yes, this stick performed decently, but not like a Trigger or Twitch or any other low kick stick that's top end that I've used, is I will never game this stick because it doesn't have the performance for me in comparison, because I purchased the top end sticks. So when you got Timmy at Hockey Tutorship and True Crew and all these people grabbing Blackouts and Verberos and Twigs and Swift and all these other ones, and now Tags, and there's many, many more, as you can see, is unless you're using this in the game, you're bullshitting everybody.
Alrighty, we're going to run through just some shooting with the Tags. The 70 is pretty whippy, so I'll start with slappers, but we'll see how that kind of goes. Yeah, it's got major lag because it's a low kick and 70 flex.
Here is the Bauer Twitch, another low kick stick that technically is competing with the Tags Hockey. But the challenge that they have with this is you have very basic engineering, soft kick point here, which is just basically layers of carbon with a very soft area for the kick point. And then you have the Bauer Twitch, which of course has boron, but also has an engineered R&D, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars of backing in terms of engineering on the kick point. And this is the challenge that these companies have, is stop trying to pretend that you are the top end stick like this. Get away from that and just talk about how this stick performs in its own right, as opposed to being like, performs like a Bauer Twitch or Trigger 9 or whatever, because you're already setting the standard too high. And then when I use this stick and then I go use this or the Trigger 9, I'm instantly like, no.
Okay, so again, it's nice to have another Blackout custom pro-friendly stick to use, and we'll see how it fares to the Tags. Again, this is from the UK. I'll show the Instagram of where this is from, just so anybody in the UK, I'll go over it after. And it has much more power, especially for a low kick. So again, when talking about the Tags and the UK shinny stick, again, it comes down to how it feels. Is the Tags going to be closer to performance of this very, very expensive top-end R&D engineered, years in development, big company, or is it going to be more down the other line and be closer to other team sticks and things like that? So I'm just going to take a couple shots with the FT7, just because I've done it right back to back, and just see how I feel those two go. Okay. Yeah, like shooting is unmatched by the jet speed. I mean, look at that shot. But the shinny was close. God, I love shooting like that with the jet speed. So good, just come down. Okay, so we're running through some shooting with the tags, and I have the FT7 here just, again, as comparison for a top end stick. So does the tags feel closer to the FT7, or does the shinny stick, Blackout UK? This stick feels more elite and feels closer down the tier range to the FT7 in a low kick stick. Again, this tags has a very, very soft release. This is not how I picture most low kick sticks. Most low kick sticks are pretty stiff at the bottom. Trigger, things like that. They feel stiff. They're designed to be a soft release, but they feel stiff because the kick point is here and your hand is way up here. This is kind of the opposite. I feel that the kick point is very soft and the stick is very soft. So we'll run through wristers and light snapshots with this and the shinny to, again, see the comparison and see how I feel. Okay, so with the tag stick, again, low kick sticks are built for this style of release. This is a really big toe curve, by the way. In comparison to the P28 on the other one, this has a bigger toe, which is probably why I'm throwing them over the net all the time. Now, these are what these sticks are built for, is that style of shooting. Does it excel? No, it doesn't. Does it feel nice to release? And is it easy? Yeah, it is. But if you're going to compare this to a top-end stick, you might be a little bit disappointed in terms of low kick, like say Trigger 7, for example. And the power is nowhere near a Trigger. This is a really good, easy releasing stick that anybody could use, but it's definitely not going to convert you if you're a Trigger or a Hyperlight user. Now, if you're a quick release budget rec hockey player and you like a nice light stick, this is 375 by the way, feels really nice, nice grip, easy release, and your style of shooting is to come down and kind of shoot like that, because a lot of people aren't like me. They don't shoot big bombs and snapshots. Most people are kind of wrist shot players. Come down, load the stick, little quick release, you know, off leg shooting, on leg. Those are the type of shots most people use. Coming down, off leg, easy release. Again, not a ton of power, but ease of shooting is fine. If you're a rec league player and you're pro budget, under $200-ish, I'll post the links below, but this is kind of the stick, right? It works well. Now, in rec hockey, you can be a situational shooter, which is like me. I use all types of shots. Coming down the wing, I'll do an off-leg shot. If I have time in the slot, I'll do regular shot. If I got tons of speed, nobody around me, I'll blow a clapper. Or if I really want power and I have a little bit of time, that old school snapshot. This stick, low kick version of the tags. Now part 2 will be the mid kick version, so don't quote me on the mid kick, but the low kick version of that is not a situational shooter stick. It does not excel in all 4 of those shooting situations. So definitely be careful if that's the type of player you are. That is better for the other sticks, pro stock hockey, etc. So the shinny UK stick is a low kicker as well. It's got the crazy curve on it, the Patrick Kane, but I personally think this has better release and power than the Tags hockey stick on the low kick. Just has a little bit more to it on this style of shooting. See, that shot was much, much better. Could be the nice curve on this thing as well. I think this giant blade also helps. So again, where does the Tags or the shinny UK stick compare for that style of shooting with the $400 and whatever FT7? So again, there's just more power on the FT7 on this style of shooting, even if you're lazy about it. And even more so when you're situationally shooting. Like that, like that. So the Shinny UK is closer to the FT7 than the Tags is, and the FT7 isn't even a good wrist shot stick.
So again, after release and shooting with the Tags and the Shinny, and then now putting it up against the FT7, is the FT7 gives me an advantage on the ice where I can overpower goalies. And that's the challenge that these guys have with these sticks is I can't overpower anybody with this. I can do a soft release like I talked about, and it's an easy load. So if you're not very technical as a shooter, it might be okay because the FT7 has a very stiff flex profile. But again, the problem is how do you compete with that even in the dollars? We'll talk about the dollars right here at the very end. But it's very difficult when the FT7 is a 5 out of 5 in shooting, 4 out of 5 at a release, and then this is just not in comparison. It's very difficult to convert a player like me, even with the money. So then you have feel, weight, and balance, where any type of budget stick always goes for a lightweight, 375 and under almost all the time in a low kick version because it gives them the illusion that it feels a little bit more elite. And I personally love light sticks. So both of these play well in the hands. I love the feel, weight, and balance. The puck feel, a little bit odd because I always find that these budget sticks have to do something to save, and it's usually in the foam or the blades. I always find them weird. I remember handing the Swift to a teammate, and the first thing he said to me was, "What's with the weird blade?" And that's kind of what I noticed with the Tags and the Shinny as well. So both the feel, weight, and balance feel great in the hands for the weight, but I always find that there's just something a little bit off about these sticks, and I just can't quite put my finger on it. So again, after release and shooting with the Tags and the Shinny, and then now putting it up against the FT7, is the FT7 gives me an advantage on the ice where I can overpower goalies. And that's the challenge that these guys have with these sticks is I can't overpower anybody with this. I can do a soft release like I talked about, and it's an easy load. So if you're not very technical as a shooter, it might be okay because the FT7 has a very stiff flex profile. But again, the problem is how do you compete with that even in the dollars? We'll talk about the dollars right here at the very end. But it's very difficult when the FT7 is a 5 out of 5 in shooting, 4 out of 5 at a release, and then this is just not in comparison. It's very difficult to convert a player like me, even with the money. So durability here is a little bit different. And this is going to lead into the final discussion on the dollar aspect. Durability on a stick that is $179 is not really that important because when you have the 450 and you got a true stick blowing up during testing on the first slap shots, that's a problem. But these sticks are built for a little bit lighter and they do feel great that way. I haven't pushed them through the ringer because frankly, I just don't really like using them that much. But from a durability standpoint, it's not as big as a deal when you have your regular 30-day warranty, but also the stick is only $179. So I'm going to rank it actually based on a dollar figure and how these made it through my testing, which it wasn't nearly in all the video here. I pushed them through the ringer. They didn't break. So I'm going to rate them as a 4 out of 5, both of them, because of they're durable enough with the dollar factor that durability doesn't really come into play. So let's talk and summarize it all up with the money factor. At the end of the day, if you are a budget rec hockey player who is not looking for the X factor of a stick to, again, like I said, give them an advantage on the ice that pushes their shot to the next level, pushes their release to the next level, then maybe these sticks are for you. But I was at the hockey shop again yesterday. I should have took a video of this, but at the end of the day, I found trigger 6s for $170 pro stocks. I found sticks $180, $190. All old CCM, Bowers, etc. And that's where I always struggle with these sticks is what do you do? Do you buy those sticks Or do you just get a 3 or 4 year old or a pro stock that's at the same price that you know is going to perform and give you a slight advantage of the ice? This is something Tags, Swift, all of these guys really need to figure out. And I honestly don't have enough time to go over it in a video. It would be too long to tell them how to continue to improve these processes and performance of their sticks. So my summary is, I still don't think these types of sticks are worth purchasing yet, because there's too much out there that you can get for the same price that you know performs. So Tags, Shinny, Swift, Future, anybody that you have, Twig, good luck. Continue to work on your product. I understand what you're doing, and the hockey community really understands it, but I haven't seen enough of your sticks out there, so you're not hitting the market yet. You got a long way to go. See you in the next one.